Welcome to Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have another quarterfinals matchup here in store for you tonight. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams. On the bottom, we have Nashville, which I've just learned is Nashville, Illinois, and not Nashville, Tennessee, with Abby, Milena, Garrett, and John. And Matter Day, we have Cohen, Dominic, Garrett, and Madison. So before we get into the game, let's just do a quick refresher on the rules again. We'll start off with some toss-up questions. Each of those will be worth 10 points. If they get it right, they'll get to move on to a bonus question, which will be worth 20 points. If a team gets a bonus question wrong, the other team can steal that bonus for 10 points. Both teams are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if they interrupt me and get the question wrong, the other team will be awarded 5 points. And I'm sure you guys understand the rules at this point as we've been over them, so let's get into the questions. And we'll start off pencil and paper ready. What number of degrees is equivalent to pi over 6 radians, given that a straight angle has pi radians? Garrett.
30.
30 degrees is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what word preceded now, tomorrow, and forever in the defiant 1963 inauguration address of Alabama Governor George Wallace?
Segregation.
Segregation is correct. Well done, Lane. On your next question, what city whose Summer Olympics were boycotted by the U.S. in 1980 was home to the headquarters of Cohen?
Moscow.
Moscow is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what fruit is combined with grapes, celery, walnuts, and mayonnaise in a traditional Waldorf salad?
Jello.
Jello is incorrect.
Apples.
Apples is correct. Well done, Garrett. Next toss-up. What mother of Chrysaor and the horse Pegasus was Cohen?
Medusa.
Medusa is correct. I'm sure Jesse, once again, cringing that I messed up the pronunciation of a Greek name, but we'll keep going. For your bonus, what patron god of Babylon defeated the dragon Mushushu, took the tablet of destinies from Kingu, and slayed the sea serpent Tiamat?
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh is incorrect. Nashville, you have a chance to steal.
Pass.
The answer we're looking for was Marduk. Marduk. For your next toss-up, what geospatial quantity is represented by contour lines on a topographic map, has a value of 0 at sea level, and is measured by, and Melina?
Elevation.
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 I am sure that's what you meant, is correct.
Yes.
And for your bonus, pencil and paper. What is the measure of angle x if angle y measures 140 degrees and x and y are vertical angles?
$40.
40 is incorrect. Matter Day, chance to steal.
140 degrees.
140 degrees is correct. Well done, Co. And now we'll take it to another toss-up question. What ruler, whose mother is known as the Younger Lady, was interred at a site known as KV62, later uncovered by Howard Carter, and was a boy pharaoh? Cohen.
Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun's correct. Well done. For your bonus, what 6th century BC reformer democratized participation in Excelsia of Athens and undid most of the harsh laws in the Draconian Code?
Pericles.
Pericles is incorrect. Nashville, you do have a chance to steal.
Pass.
The answer we're looking for was Salon. Salon. For your next toss-up, what world leader who launched the Belt and Road Initiative in 2013 holds... Cohen.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping is correct. For your bonus, the line, "Tear her tattered ensign down," opens what poem by Oliver Wendell Holmes that pays homage to the USS Constitution?
Old Ironsides.
Old Ironsides is correct. Well done. And that'll take us to our first media question. This show is a spin-off of Cohen.
Legend of Korra.
We have a Legend of Korra question here? You can tell I didn't look at the script before this, but that's so cool. That's correct, yes. And because that is a media question, we will not have a bonus for that. For your next toss-up, what lead musician on the rock-influenced album In a Silent Way used the Dorian mode for So What, which appears on his jazz album Kind of Blue? John.
Miles Davis.
Miles Davis is correct. Well done, John. For For your bonus, for a standing wave, the distance between two adjacent nodes is equal to what multiple of the wavelength? 2. 2 is incorrect. Matter Day, a chance to steal.
No answer.
No answer. It's the answer we're looking for wasn't 2, but 1/2. It's half. And for your next toss-up, what author wrote about a secret society called the VFD and described Count Olaf's Abby?
Lemony Snicket.
Lemony Snicket's correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1893, what American woman was tried and acquitted for murdering her father and stepmother with an axe in Fall River, Massachusetts?
Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden's correct. Well done. On to our next question. Energy cascades are part of Andrei Kolmogorov's theory of what type of fluid flow that occurs at high Reynolds numbers and can cause bumpy airplane rides. Cohen.
Turbulence.
Turbulence is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what tower, which was built during the redevelopment of Toronto's railway lands, was the world's tallest freestanding tower until 2007?
CN Tower.
CN Tower is correct. Well done. Looks very similar to the Seattle Space Needle. I don't know if it was inspired at all, but basically is like the same thing. For your next toss-up, what man who promoted infrastructure via his American system became Secretary of State? Cohen.
Henry Clay.
Henry Clay is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what English poet who became a Jesuit priest in 1877 coined the term sprung rhythm to describe the verse style he used in poems such as Pied Beauty?
Blake.
Blake is incorrect. Nashville, chance to steal.
Wordsworth.
Wordsworth is incorrect. We're looking for Gerard Manley Hopkins. You guys' next toss-up. In what novel does the Yellow Robe Demon capture the protagonist Tang Sanjiang, who is eventually rescued by the Monkey King Sun Wukong? Garrett.
Journey to the West.
Journey to the West is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, what optical phenomenon is governed by Snell's law and is exemplified by light bending as it enters water?
Refraction.
Refraction is correct. For your next toss-up, what religion has naked, sky-clad, and clothed white-clad sex, venerates 24 Tirthankaras, and preaches a non-violence principle called ahimsa? Elena.
Hinduism.
Hinduism is incorrect. Go on.
Jainism.
Jainism is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1983, U.S. forces invaded what island country in Option Urgent Fury and deposed its communist government?
Grenada.
Grenada is correct. And this will take us to another media question. This Hong Kong martial artist is also a famous actor, director, and Melina.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan's correct. For back to the toss-ups, the electron and neutron obey statistics named for Paul Dirac and what Italian whose Chicago Pile 1 hosted the first man-made nuclear chain reaction? Come on.
Fermi.
Fermi is correct. For your bonus, the Mangatikati salt pan is in what desert that covers most of Botswana?
Kalahari.
Kalahari is correct. Back to the toss. What Russian author who created Dying Magistrate Ivan Ilyich also created Count Vronsky and Pierre Buzukov in Anna Karenina and War? Dominic.
Leo Tolstoy.
Leo Tolstoy is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the name of what U.S. city precedes Dynamics in the name of a company that in 2020 began selling a robot named Spot that resembles a dog?
Boston.
Boston is correct. And I remember seeing videos of people from Boston Dynamics just whacking it with a hockey stick, trying to get it to fall over. It seems very, very Boston of them. Back to the toss-ups. What president opposed the Hartford Convention of New England Federalists, escaped the burning of Washington, D.C.? Cohen.
James Madison.
James Madison is correct. For your bonus, what composer included hammer blows in his Tragic Symphony and a massive choir in his 8th Symphony, the Symphony of 1,000?
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky is incorrect. National, a chance to steal.
Beethoven.
Beethoven is also incorrect. We're looking for Gustav Mahler. Gustav Mahler. Your next question. What artist who showed a woman pouring from a pitcher in The Milkmaid made just 34 paintings, including View of Delft and A Girl with Pearl Earrings? Cohen.
Vermeer.
Vermeer is correct. On to the bonus. The closest star system to the sun is about 4 light years away in a constellation that depicts what type of mythical half-human creature?
Centaur.
Centaur is correct. On to the next toss-up. What law, which is modified in the Van der Waals equation, has a namesake constant of about 8.31 joules per mole Kelvin and is written PV equals nRT? Garrett.
Gas law.
I'm looking for something a bit more than that.
Pavlov's gas law.
That's incorrect. Cohen.
Combined gas law.
That's also incorrect. We were looking for ideal gas law. We'll take us back to another toss-up. What poem whose speaker proclaims, "I will show you fear in a handful of dust," opens with the line, "April is the cruelest month," and is by T.S. Eliot? So you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for there was The Wasteland. And with that, we'll take it to our lightning round. So I'll explain the way the lightning round works. Both teams will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a certain topic. And now, Nashville, since you guys are trailing in this one, you guys will have the first pick of the topics. Your choices are the Book of Genesis, national languages, Wisconsin, and people named Robert.
Albert.
People named Robert it is. All right. For people named Robert, give the surname of these people, believe it or not, with the first name, Robert. I'll give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. Victorious general at the Battle of Chancellorsville.
Lee.
That's correct. Scottish author of Treasure Island.
Pass.
Founder of the Boy Scout movement.
Pass.
Poet of Death of the Hired Man.
Pass.
Inventor of the first modern steamboat at the Claremont.
Pass.
Democratic presidential candidate assassinated in 1968.
Kennedy.
Kennedy is correct. British poet married to Elizabeth Barrett.
Frost.
Frost is incorrect. German composer of Carnival and Kreisleriana.
Pass.
British scientist who names a law relating to force to compression of a spring.
Pass.
First Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Pass.
Scottish author of Treasure Island.
Stevenson.
Stevenson's correct. Founder of the Boy Scout.
Powell.
Powell's correct. Death of the Hired Man. Oh, you said Frost for that, right? Did you say Frost for that one? Okay, never mind. You said Frost for a different one. That one was Frost. All right, so we'll go through the ones that you guys missed out on. Let's see. Poet of Death of the Hired Man was Robert Frost. Inventor of the first modern steamboat, the Claremont, was Robert Fulton. British poet married to Elizabeth Barrett was Robert Browning. And British scientist whose law named relating to a force to compression of a spring was Robert Hooke. And first Prime Minister of Great Britain was Robert Walpole. And with that, you guys are done with your lightning round, and we'll take it now to modern day. Your choices are Book of Genesis, national languages, and Wisconsin.
Take national languages.
National languages it is. So give the national languages, or the official languages of these countries. I'll give you 60 seconds on the clock, and I will count you down. 3, 2, 1. Egypt.
Arabic.
Arabic's correct. Brazil.
Portuguese.
Portuguese correct. Israel.
Hebrew.
Hebrew's correct. Jamaica.
English.
English is correct. Dominican Republic.
Spanish.
Spanish is correct. Senegal.
French.
French is correct. San Marino.
Italian.
Italian is correct. Suriname. Or Suriname.
Dutch.
Dutch is correct. Moldova.
Romanian.
Romanian is correct. And Cambodia.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese is incorrect, but you just blew through all of those. That was the last one that we had for you. And the answer for Cambodia was Khmer. But cleaning up the rest of them, well done. Building on that lead that you guys had going into it. Let's take a quick look at our score before we move on. Mater Dei sitting at 280, but I don't think that's actually been updated yet. And Nashville, 370 for Mater Dei and 140 for Nashville. I mean, you've seen how quickly the points fluctuate. Nashville, still plenty of time to catch up in the back half. Back to our toss-ups. In June 2022, what man was released from federal supervision 41 years after he shot James Brady and attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan? So you guys are on at a time. The answer we're looking for was John Hinckley Jr. The next toss-up. What 2022 film whose title character has a robotic cat named Socks and is voiced by Chris Evans? John.
Lightyear.
Lightyear is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1942, General Douglas MacArthur vowed to return to what country in which the Bataan Death March took place after MacArthur's escape?
France.
France is incorrect. Mater Dei, you do have a chance to steal.
Philippines.
Philippines is correct. The next toss-up. What American scientist who classified acids and bases as electron pair acceptors and donors, respectively, names often used dot diagram? Garrett.
Lewis.
Lewis is correct. For your bonus, what element's depleted form contains a lower concentration of its fissile isotope, 235?
Uranium.
Uranium is correct. The next toss-up. What 1848 meeting organized by Lucretia Mott produced the Declaration of Sentiments, which Elizabeth Cady Stanton wrote to endorse Garrett?
Seneca Falls.
Seneca Falls is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Greek cynic philosopher who mocked Plato's definition of man as featherless biped used a plucked chicken and lived in a large jar?
Diogenes.
Diogenes is correct. Back to the toss-ups. What NBA team who won 5 titles between 1999 and 2014 is coached by Greg Popovich and used to play Garrett?
The Spurs.
Spurs is correct. Well done. On to the bonus. Adolf Hitler wrote Mein Kampf in prison after being charged with treason for his role in what failed 1923 coup attempt?
Beer Hall Putsch.
Beer Hall Putsch is correct. Well done. The next question. What novelist whose debut was The Voyage Out wrote about the suicidal Septimus Smith and a woman preparing a dinner party in her book, Mrs. Dalloway? Abby.
Daphne du Maurier.
Daphne du Maurier is incorrect. So you guys are all out of time. The answer you're looking for was Virginia Woolf. And that'll take us to another media question. This famous music artist originally, Cohen,
Tyler the Creator.
Tyler the Creator is correct. For the next toss, what treaty's final negotiations by Carlos Salinas, Brian Mulroney, and Bill Clinton in 1993 created a trade bloc among Mexico, Canada, and the U.S.?
NAFTA.
NAFTA is correct. And for your bonus, pencil and paper ready. What is the simplified form of the algebraic expression whose numerator is 6a squared and whose denominator is 4ab?
(3a over 2b).
3a over 2b is correct. Hold on. Back to the toss-ups. What type of shape whose area can be calculated with Heron's formula has an in-center and can be classified as scalene isosceles or Garrett?
Triangle.
Triangle is correct. For your bonus, what boy is elected chief after blowing a conch shell to summon plane survivors nearing the beginning of William Golding's novel, Lord of the Flies?
Simon.
Simon is incorrect. Nashville.
Ralph.
Ralph's correct. Well done. Getting the steal there and taking us back to more toss-ups. What word can denote a species in chemical reactions that are formed and then consumed, or blue square ski runs between easy and advanced? Garrett.
Intermediate.
Intermediate's correct. Well done, Garrett. For your bonus, in 2019, what country finished building the Lakta Center skyscraper, which will serve as headquarters for its oil company, Gazprom?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is incorrect. Modern day, the chance to steal.
Russia.
Russia's correct. And the next question. Rain in the Middle East has led to what insects of genus Schistocerca devastating food supply in East Africa due to their destructive swarms? Garrett.
Locust.
Locust is correct. For your bonus, what family of plants, which includes the Sargoroa and the prickly pear, use water-efficient CAM photosynthesis?
Cactus.
Cactus is correct. And the next toss-up, what essay that describes a way of paying landlords rent was written in 1729 by Jonathan Swift and Cohen?
A Modest Proposal.
Modest Proposal is correct. For your bonus, what Lord High Chancellor of England under Henry VIII, an opponent of the Protestant Reformation, wrote the philosophical satire Utopia?
More.
Thomas More is correct. And back to the toss-ups. What video game character who battles a metal doppelganger in Stardust Speedway fights the evil Dr. Robotnik? Melina.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Alfred Adler coined the term for what psychological complex in which people believe themselves to be worse in some way than other people?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome is incorrect. Modern day chance to steal.
Inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex is correct. And for your toss-up, what capital is home to the Punta Brava Lighthouse, lies on the northern shore of the Rio de Plata, and is the most populous city in the Uruguay? Garrett.
Montevideo.
Montevideo is correct. For your bonus, what painter whose art and decorations are seen in the Peacock Room painted arrangement in gray and black #1, a portrait of his elderly mother?
Whistler.
Whistler is correct. On the next toss-up, what organelle is home to the electron transport chain, has a matrix divided by folds called Christie, and is named the powerhouse of the cell? Cohen.
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria is certainly the powerhouse of the cell. That is correct. And for your bonus, what word refers to expression b squared minus 4ac in the quadratic formula which determines the number of solutions of an equation? So you guys are all out of time. Nashville, a chance to steal.
0.
0 is incorrect. We're looking for a discriminant equation. The next toss-up. What man who obtained the Rudd concession and proposed a Cape to Cairo was a diamond magnate whose will funded a scholarship to Oxford? Cohen.
Rhodes.
Rhodes is correct. The Rhodes Scholarship. For your bonus, what son of John of Galt, the Duke of Lancaster, overthrew Richard II and usurped the English throne in 1399? So you guys are all out of time. Nashville, a chance to steal.
Pass.
The answer we're looking for was Henry IV. Henry IV. Back to the toss-ups. What country is home to the ancient cities of Bukhara and Samarkand, lies between Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan, and has its capital at Tashkent?
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan is correct. And for your bonus, in what poem which precedes Purgatorio does Virgil lead the narrator through 9 circles of hell?
Inferno.
Inferno is correct. And I believe that bell means that is all the questions we have time for today. So let's take a look at the score. Matter Day really building on that lead you made in the bonus round, just knocking them out of the park. I think you got 9 out of 10 there. Very well done. It ends 680 to 180. So that is all we have time for on today's show. For all of our lovely contestants here today from Nashville, Illinois, not Tennessee, and Mater Day, and all of our lovely people behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Good night.